Hello, good people. It has been a minute since I've done a in the moment video, or shall I say, a non recap of my time in Zanzibar, Tanzania. And I just thought I would do a quick little video while I am taking these braids out of my hair. The woman who cleans our house saw my afro one day. I had just washed my hair and I didn't want to do it that day. So when I woke up the next day, my fro was kind of all over the place. So the woman kind of pointed to my hair and I said, "You do?" And she said, "Yes." And so I showed her a picture of, a little simple braid style. And I said, "You can do?" And she said, "Yes." And so she did my hair after she finished cleaning the house. And it was only, I gave her 10,000 shillings, but she said that was too big, too much. And so I gave her 5,000 shillings. And she still was just kind of like, "Can I give you change?" And I said, "No, that's okay. That's fine." So, anyways, I am back in Tanzania. I was here for 3 months and then I came back. So I was here from May to August and then I came back October 31st. Hold on. False alarm. I thought he was knocking on the gate, but that was somebody else was out there. But anyways, I'm glad I got up when I did because, okay, now it really is. Because I saw a spider. And as y'all know, I can't stand spiders. Anyways, let me go get the gate this time. Okay, so I left in, let me tell y'all real quick. I am not a multitasker. It's so hard for me to concentrate. So I'm going to try to take these braids out, but I may just stop and talk. So that's probably what I should just do anyways. But yeah, I left, I was here May through August, and then when I went back to the US, back to Florida, I'll say at the end of my trip, which you'll see when I put up month 3 of my Tanzania Chronicles, my parents came. So they came for my birthday, which was the end of July, and they stayed throughout the remainder of my trip. So we left mid-August, and when we got back, my dad said, "Hey, Julia, when you have some time, we want to sit down and talk with you." So I was like, oh boy, because while they were here, they got to meet my significant other. And so I thought, not just meet him, but he was with us the entire time. So they got to see him every single day. Throughout the course of the day, my dad would go with him and just like spend the day seeing what they do and everything. The power's out, as I said, so I'm sweating. So if you see me wiping, I'm hot. I'm hot. But anyways, so my dad was like, "We want to talk with you." And so I'm thinking, oh boy, what do they have to say about my guy? Well, nothing. What they said instead was, "We're going to put the house up for sale and move. Where? We don't know, but we definitely want to go ahead and make a move and sell this house." And so from we got back mid-August, so this happened like the first week of September. That weekend, we were having a garage sale. So we sold a whole bunch of stuff. And from that point on, we had stuff on Facebook Marketplace and just, when people would come for the garage sales, we had stuff out. So people were buying everything. I mean, we didn't have any major furniture. The beds were gone. The dressers, the sofas, like everything was gone. I think the only pieces of furniture we kept were the grandfather clock, because that's been with us for so many years, and just a couple of pieces of like bookshelving. But other than that, everything else was gone. We put some stuff in storage, like some clothes, files. So we had like a pretty small, because originally we had a larger storage unit, but once the big stuff sold, we were like, okay, we can downsize to a smaller unit. And so that is what we did. And And I knew that I was coming back to Zanzibar because I'm in a relationship. Um, and so I was kind of packing for my time here, which I don't even know how long I'm gonna stay here. And then I was packing to put stuff in storage, and then the stuff that I would need for the remainder of time that we would be in our home. But things got crazy because I mean, as soon as the house was on the MLS, things just started moving like crazy. So in the midst of, oh, I have to go let him in the gate. Hold on. Okay, so I'm back. And so it was really crazy how things just went as far as selling the home. Because, like I was saying, people, or maybe I didn't finish saying, I don't know, I'm so distracted. But I don't know, it was just kind of as if people, as soon as we put it on the MLS, people were hitting us up like crazy, and we were showing multiple times a day. So in the midst of trying to pack for a trip, trying to pack to go to storage, trying to pack to, for what I was going to wear the rest of the time, depending on when we sold the house and stuff. My room was in shambles, but at the same time, I had to keep it neat because we didn't know when someone wanted to come look at the home. So it was a lot of chaos for me. And it also was like a period of, wow, the family is changing because I've been living with my parents since 2006. So almost 20 years. No, almost, I can't count right now, but a long time. A long time. What, 11 years? I'm sorry. Let me get my figures straight. 2006, 2016. Yeah, so almost around 20 years I had been living with them. And so this was one of those. Hold on. So yeah, my calculations were right. So almost 20 years since I've been living with my parents. And it's crazy because I've been living with them longer as an adult than I was, throughout from birth to when I enlisted in the military. So it's crazy. Yeah, living with them longer as an adult. But it's been a beautiful experience, but we'll talk about that in another video. But for me now to be back in Tanzania, in Zanzibar, it feels very different because, when I left, it wasn't, oh, I'm going on a 2-week vacation, or oh, I'm going to be there for two to 3 months. No, this is indefinite, even though you can only stay for 90 days at a time. But yeah, for me, it feels like it's more indefinite. I don't have an exact date on when I'm returning to the US. And then when I do return, don't know where I'm returning to because, as I said, my parents, they sold the house. It is closed. Someone else is living in our house now. So my parents are traveling. They're doing their own thing. So right now, I have no permanent address in the US. I have a P.O. box, and that's it. I have no permanent address. I have no physical address. How about that? No physical address. And for the first time in my life, that feels a little crazy. A little backstory. I grew up in the military. My father was in the Air Force. He retired Air Force. So from the time I was conceived in the Philippines and born in Florida, I've moved every 2 to 4 years. And it hasn't been until I was an adult where I've lived somewhere more than 4 years. And I lived in Texas almost 6 years, and then in Florida almost 6 years. But outside of that, it's been a constant move. And even within those times of living in one state or one city, we moved a couple times. So it's almost like there's this itch of, oh, I've been in this house a minute. It's time for a move. You know, in the military, you get orders, PCS orders. So it's kind of like, okay, it's time for some orders. It's time for some orders. But hopefully this time around, we'll find a place and say, okay, we'll be here for a while. But I just think there's this impermanence. Maybe that's not the word I want to use, but there's just this, I am where I am because that's where I'm supposed to be right now. And if that changes, then it changes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So here I am back in Zanzibar with no umeme and very hot, but I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm in love, making plans to get married. We'll talk about that in another video as well. But I just wanted to come on really quick and just say it's so funny how things have a way of manifesting in your life. For instance, I kept saying, oh, I want to pay off my mom and dad's home. Now, the home was built, finished, construction completed in 2022, and we moved in. So we had only been in the home a little over 3 years. But we had, one of the things that I said, I just wanted to do something for my parents because I feel like they've been so supportive of me my whole life. And even into my adulthood with my writing career and just the different things that I've experienced in my life, my parents have always been there and just been in my corner, been there to support me however was needed. And so I said, oh my goodness, I want to pay off my mom and dad's house. Like, I want to pay it off. So something I started doing was I started buying scratch offs. And unfortunately, I never won anything yet that was the amount needed to pay off the home. However, because of my traveling here and then my parents coming here and them deciding to sell the home, and the home was purchased by someone else, essentially, I think I did pay off the house. I'm not going to take the credit. That was nobody but God. But at the same time, it's like I put that intention out there that I wanted to be a conduit for having the home paid off. And it was. So yeah, this time in my life is very different. It's a good different. It's a different. It's something that I'm growing more and more accustomed with and to, and I'm looking forward to seeing what blossoms from here. But also, I'm just really glad to be here in Zanzibar and just to see what life has to offer here. So that is one of the shortest videos you will probably see me post. But thank you so much for listening, for watching, and for keeping up to date on my whole coming to Tanzania, the Chronicles, the super long videos. Thank you. I really, really do appreciate each and every one of you who've taken, if you've just watched 1 minute, 30 seconds, I appreciate you because you didn't have to. So thank you for being here, and I will see you next time.